before, as much as your struggles bother you, you look around like I do yesterday, and I see one who's already 16 and the other one who's halfway there, and I go, man, where'd you guys come from? How did we end up here? And but you're glad to be with them, and you think of, how you got there and all of that, and then you think of this family, the Karageorge family. How in the world did they spend Thanksgiving? It's one thing when you deal with tragedy, which there's a scary end to this story that we haven't even talked about. But it's one thing when you're dealing with a tragedy and somebody's missing on a holiday. But something like, can you imagine just not knowing? That's the worst part. Not knowing. That's the part. That's the part that gets me worse than, obviously there's bad endings to this that can also be quite tragic. But I've got to think at least then you have some finality of whatever it may be, but man, that's even worse. So all hopes and prayers, at least for me, is that this young man comes up somewhere. It was off the radar, went off the grid, didn't want people to get a hold of him. I see Bruce in the chat room. Yeah, his family, his girlfriend, nobody, no calls being answered, anything. People very, very worried about Costa Karageorge down in Columbus today, here on the verge of the game against Michigan. So again, it kind of mutes the excitement and the tenor that you may have had about this game. And hopefully, I hope before we get done with this show that we're going, hey, scratch that. Everything's all good. My man's been found. It's time to start giving a damn about the whole state of Michigan again. But for now, man, it's tough to go in that direction. And my thoughts and prayers are with not just with obviously the family, with the Karageorge family, but, and even then, even the selection of music beds, it's like, man, what, it makes it hard to go up in that direction, but we got to keep it going. You got to keep it positive, because there is no reason not to think that this young man won't be found and be safe and sound. And you just got to pray and hope that is where this thing ends up. Not just the family, though, in your thoughts and prayers. And think of all those players too, man. Especially, not that this makes that big of a difference, but as a senior, been around even longer, so that's somebody that's even closer to everybody there. They're definitely thoughts and prayers, and hopefully we have an update before this ends. But yeah, Costa Karageorge, missing since Wednesday morning. And I agree, Chris, I cannot even imagine what any of them are going through, man. Even if it's just a friend, think about that. Think about here. Okay, here's a good example. Even if you want to just use acquaintances, those of you that listen to the show, some of you do, have relationships with me outside of this, but many of you, listen to the show. I'm that guy that does the sports fix. Well, if 3 days go by and I didn't pop on the air here, somebody may start sending some feelers out there and wondering what's going on. So imagine if, any situation similar to that, a friend of yours just disappears for 3 days, man. You're like, hey, man, what's up, man? So then take that to a whole nother level. And then imagine family. Like I said, I think there can't be a player on the Buckeyes team right now not shaken up by this, let alone that may all be involved in any search efforts here over the next 24 hours. That's definitely not ideal when you're getting ready for a football game, but who cares about a football game at a point like this? So, all right. Yeah, we're up against the break. Let's do it. Let's shift gears. Let's get ready to talk. Let's get Jeff Gorman here on the phone line. Let's give something away. How about that? I cannot wave a magic wand and help anybody in Columbus right now, but I can give something away right now, and I can at least wave a magic wand for those of you guys listening to the show. So all you can do, as the expression goes, is do what you can do. That's what we're going to do. Let's hook somebody up. Besides the social media prize pack right now, share the show on social media. Tell somebody to tune in. We're going to hook the winner up at the end of the show, but how about we start off with, speaking of the holidays here, how about, you think I was going to start with Glory Days in Tribe Town? No. How about we start with my man, Nick Katsasaurus, the Lukumis Celebrity Cookbook, favorite childhood recipes. It is the holiday cooking season of over 50 athletes and celebrities. The Manning family's in here. Every celebrity from Jennifer Aniston to Ellen DeGeneres to Betty White and Oprah Winfrey and everybody in between has got a recipe in this book. Jay Leno, you name it. It's pretty cool. And if you're into the whole doing the cooking thing, if that's your deal, or maybe you want it to be your deal this holiday season, I'm going to hook you up with 50 favorite famous childhood recipes from celebrities around the world. Lukumi's Celebrity Holiday Cookbook. That's coming your way. How do you get it? Simple. Email thesportsfix at AOL.com and say, I'm listening to the Sports Fix and I want that cookbook, Daddy. Okay, you don't have to directly quote me, but something along those lines. Right now, cookbook emails, email thesportsfix at AOL.com. Say, I want in. Just say, hey, what you got? I want it, J-Rock. That's what she said. I'm just saying. Hit us up, and we'll hook you up, perhaps, all weekend long. That is not a show-specific contest. That is going to last all weekend long until Monday. I'll announce all the winners. But if you want to get your hands on Lakumi's Celebrity Cookbook, favorite childhood recipes of over 50 athletes and celebrities, hit us up now. Thesportsfix at AOL.com. Just use the subject line cookbook and tell us, J-Rock, I'm listening, and I want to cook with some smoke and fire with the Sports Fix. Or I'd just love to get my hands on that cookbook. Again, you can say it however you want. Do your thing, baby. Hit us up. And I've got a copy of this just for you, as we have only just begun. Next segment, next break, I'm hooking somebody up with a history of the wine and gold. The Cleveland Cavaliers by Vince McKee, autographed copy. That'll be coming your way a little bit later on in the show. And everybody, you can win not just once, more than once here. So get your entries in for every contest all day long. Let's take a break and get this bad boy rolling. Browns and Bills, as we said. Many Browns fans thankful that the Browns and the Bills game is meaningful for both teams and play. Who can believe? Can you remember? Can you remember four and whatever teams battling into a 6-3 standoff in the snow against teams whose season ended 2 weeks into the training camp? It's a little bit different this time around. Both teams have a chance to improve. Obviously, if Buffalo wins, they drag the Browns down a game and they tie the Browns and they put themselves into that big grouping of teams that are all bunched up there for them final two playoff spots. Meanwhile, the Browns, with a victory, clinch a .500 season and put themselves that much closer to potential postseason action. Let's talk about it, and let's talk about the Buffalo Bills, because they're not hosting just a free party for the Browns. They're looking to win this game. The scouting report coming your way from Jeff Gorman of Browns101.com next here on the Sports Fix. Don't go anywhere. We've just begun. Jonathan Knight, Ryan Ruiz, and so much more, and plenty of prizes to give away. It's the Black Friday/weekend, for those of you that take the words literally, edition of the Sports Fix. Let's roll, Daddy. We'll be right back talking Browns and Bills with Jeff Gorman of Browns 101 coming up next.
You show it as you move across the floor. Get down on it. Come on in. Get down on it. If you really want it. Get down on it. You gotta feel it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Come on in.
Get your fix.
Cause it's Friday, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got to do.
It's the Sports Fix. We'll be right back.
Sports Fix listeners, you've heard me talking about it. Millionaires being made all season long at DraftKings.com, America's favorite one-week fantasy football site. I've been playing there too. It's now J-Rock's favorite one-week fantasy football site. What's one-week fantasy football? That means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Have a player who's hurt? That's no problem at all, because you change everything week to week. Injuries don't derail your chance at victory. It's a new season every week. You're never stuck with the same players. You can pick your team in just minutes and be on your way to winning huge cash. This season, one listener turned $10 into $5,000. Another turned $2 into $10,000. And a new millionaire has been crowned nearly every week this season at DraftKings.com. You could be next. Imagine winning $1 million in one day. $1 million just for playing fantasy football at DraftKings.com. Head to DraftKings.com now and use promo code Spreaker to play for free in the $10 million Fantasy Football World Championships. DraftKings.com. Bigger events, bigger winnings, bigger millionaires. Enter Spreaker now at DraftKings.com.
The Sports Fix is on iHeartRadio. Download the free iHeart app today. Subscribe to the show and get your fix. Have you gotten your copy of Cleveland's Finest yet? Highlighting the best moments, players, and media members in Cleveland sports history? In-depth personal interviews with some of the top names in Cleveland sports fill the pages of this incredible book. Cleveland's Finest by Vince McKee is this year's must-have book for every Cleveland sports fan. Available now at Amazon.com. Get your copy today. Fantasy sports lovers, you put so much time, hard work, and effort into playing week to week that it quickly stops being a fantasy and starts getting real. And when the smoke clears, you want to show off those victories with a real prize.
I mean, a really real prize.
Nobody does that like Fantasy Jocks. The crew over at Fantasy Jocks have beautiful, high-quality, and heavy-duty championship belts, rings, trophies, and so much more for all your fantasy sports needs. There's literally only one place to go. FantasyJocks.com.
Hey everybody, this is Jerry the King Lawler from WWE, and you're listening to the Sports Fix.
Welcome back to the Sports Fix, where indeed we are family, and we had to let the music play a little long because I'm telling you, I'm jammed up behind the scenes here right now. I'm getting hit with stuff all over the place, and because it's, you know, one of those days where everybody, well, not everybody, but most people are not in their current work situations or whatever it may be, getting just slammed internet-wise. Everything's just going all bonkers on us here. It is what it is, but I'm getting double the usual overload here behind the scenes. So keeping up with it, baby. As we've said, don't forget, several contests going on throughout the show. I'm going to have to keep reminding you guys about this. Jeff Gorman from Browns101.com is on the hotline here. We're going to talk some Browns and Bills here in just a second. But don't forget, the social media prize packet's coming your way just for sharing the show today on social media. Go tell somebody to tune in on Facebook, on Twitter. Tell them to listen now. Tag us in the post. At the end of the day, we're going to hook somebody up with a nifty little prize pack just for doing that all show long. That is exclusively for the live audience. Meanwhile, for the rest of you out there who are listening all weekend long on digital delay, we've already began the first prize contest, which is the Lukumi Celebrity Cookbook, just in time for the holidays here. 50 different celebrity recipes. The Manning family's in there. You name it, they're in there. The list is far too long to go into, but it's great for the holidays. Perfect way to start things off. And you heard a promo for Cleveland's Finest during the break. I've got a copy of that coming your way as well. We got a lot of things still to come. All you've got to do to get in on the cookbook is email thesportsfix@AOL.com and say, I want that cookbook, Daddy. That's it. Any way you want to say it, it's cool. You can put any type of vernacular and jargon on it that you want, but you just say, J-Rock, I want that cookbook, Daddy. thesportsfix@AOL.com. Hook us up. Meanwhile, the next giveaway coming your way at the end of this segment, featuring Jeff Gorman. As we said, we're talking Browns and Bills. Jeff every week has the scouting report for the team on the other side of the sidelines from the Browns, and it's the Bills this week. Playoff implications for both teams. Since Jeff's got the phones taken up, because he's inconsiderate like that, you hit us up on Facebook and Twitter. Facebook.com/TheSportsFix. Tweet with us at TheSportsFixCLE and share that show. Jeff Gorman, share that scouting report, Daddy. How you doing? Happy Thanksgiving. How was your holiday, my friend?
It was fantastic. How about you, J-Rock?
Hey, man, you know, I'm here. We're cooking. Can't complain, man. It's all good. I'm with it, brother, and I'm ready to do. Not only do I got my Santa hat on, which of course you guys know, by the way, has the little Browns logo on it, because I can't have a non sports related object in this room. I'm looking around my room, and my studio is /sports Hall of Fame here I'm running out of room for stuff. I don't even have stuff displayed anymore because it's piled up to the rafters. But I love my Brownies Santa hat here, and getting a chance to wear that today, doing the reverse Black Friday thing. So always cool, man. Go ahead.
I'm trying to get my head around the whole reverse Black Friday thing. I'm getting ready to pack up some merchandise and take it back to the store and sell it to them for low prices.
I'm just saying, man, they take they take, we give, my friend, here on the Sports Fix. And, just something fun to reward people that sit there every day and listen to us here. And I love to be able to do that. And I love to be able to sit down every week. And I say this all the time.